Hello, it's Monday, July 28th of 2025, and today I'm here at Liège-Guillemins station to ride Arriva's special three-country train service from here in Liège to Aachen in Germany via Maastricht and Heerlen in the Netherlands. The RE18 Regional Express, operated by Arriva, also known as the S43 within Belgium and the Limax, according to its very own Wikipedia page, first runs north along the Meuse River on Belgian Line 40 from Liège-Guillemins to the border with the Netherlands. The train then continues down the Maas, which is actually just the same river, on Dutch Line 071 into Maastricht, and then runs down various lines to Heerlen in the east. The train enters Germany, passes Herzogenrath, and then turns south down line 2550 to Aachen Hbf. The RE18 has 3 stops in Belgium, 8 in the Netherlands, and another 3 in Germany, for a total of 14. The service runs hourly every day of the week, and there's an additional train per hour from Aachen to Maastricht that doesn't continue down into Belgium. I think Liège-Guillemins is a gorgeous modern station. It's really, really pretty. Last time I was here, there were these sort of colored glass panels on the roof, and while they did make the station look very fun and colorful, I am quite fond of this clean white look. From here, you can catch trains to many domestic destinations, as well as direct international services to 4 different countries, the most in Belgium outside Brussels, those being the Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, and France. The station has 9 platforms, as well as 2 elevated concourses and 1 ground-level concourse. There's also a very easy connection to the brand new Liège tramway that I just made a video about. Back in the concourse, there are many different shops and places to eat down here. Right at the back, there's also this small room with a cash point, vending machines, and a place to fill your water bottle. Oh, and some photo booths. And a post office pickup spot. I bought a youth ticket to Aachen via Maastricht for only €14.10 from the ticket machines here, and that's cheaper than I could get on the Arriva app, because the Arriva app only has adult tickets for some reason, but the adult tickets here are more expensive than those on the Arriva app, so I guess if you're an adult, more than 26, so not 18, more than 26, purchase on the Arriva app. If you're under 26, purchase a youth ticket from the ticket machine here, or online. As you may already be able to tell, the ticketing on this train is very confusing. Fun fact, Aachen in French is Aix-la-Chapelle Hauptbahnhof. I made my way up onto platform 2. The RE18 uses 3 Karstadtler flirt units in Arriva livery that are very proud of their job. These are the only trains in Belgium that have extendable platform gap fillers to allow for completely level boarding. The train does not have seat reservations, but I still ended up sitting backwards because the train was relatively full. Before setting off, I had to listen through about 3 minutes of this low-quality robotic voice announcing all of the stops on the route in 3 languages: French, Dutch, then German. The train departed on time. The Arriva service is scheduled to take 1 hour and 34 minutes and costs around €19.52 as of August 2025. But it's only one of 3 ways to get from Liège to Aachen by train, and it's probably the worst one at that. Another option would be to take a local S41 train via Verviers, which is 30 minutes faster and comes out to only €11.30 or €8.40 for a youth ticket. That's anyone under 26. There are even high-speed Eurostar and ICE trains available that run on Belgium's high-speed Line 3 that only take 20 to 24 minutes to complete the trip, and even though booking on the day can cost you upwards of €30, I was able to find advance tickets that were even cheaper than the Arriva. This is all to say that reasonable people only use the Arriva train to travel to and from intermediate stops, and no one takes this train from end to end other than train enthusiasts like me. After pulling out of Liège, we passed over the Val-Benoit railway bridge, and I decided it was a good time to review the passenger experience while seated. The seats had a decent headrest and reasonable padding. Not super comfortable, but definitely good enough. There was 1 standard outlet and 1 USB-A port shared between each pair of seats too. Each seat also had a large, sturdy tray table, which was really nice, but mine in particular was a bit dirty. The train had dozens of passenger information screens, and although many didn't seem to be working, the ones that were clearly displayed the next stops and their respective arrival times. Additionally, even though Arriva advertises free Wi-Fi, and my phone did appear to connect to it, I unfortunately wasn't able to get it to work, but that might well have been user error. We served Visé station, the final station in Belgium, and then proceeded north towards the Netherlands. While approaching Dutch territory, I realized that the driver, assuming it's the same one throughout, has to interpret 3 different signaling systems. I also applaud the Arriva ticket inspectors because, in addition to presumably having to speak 3 languages, French, Dutch, and German, there are so many different agencies that offer various types of tickets that are valid on this train, depending on whether you're traveling entirely within a country or internationally between them. This is assuming they exist, of course, because my ticket wasn't checked at all, nor did I even see a guard. We officially crossed into the Netherlands right about here, where the train seamlessly transitioned power systems, from the Belgian 3 kV DC to the Dutch 1.5 kV DC, and the announcement order changed to Dutch, then German, then French. At the first station in the Netherlands, Aachen, the train picked up more passengers, enough that some decided to stand or sit on the floor near the doors. There should probably be more than 1 train an hour down this line. We passed Maastricht-Randwijk, the scheduled halfway point of the journey in terms of time, and approached the main Maastricht station. The train arrived at the station on the left on track 4, but then before stopping switched onto track 5B on the right-hand side, because unlike Belgium, the Netherlands runs its trains on the right. Curiously, there was another train stopped at 5A, and it was interesting to see 2 separate trains on 1 long platform. Upon the doors opening, about 3/4 of the passengers on the train got off, and some others got on, of course. After waiting 7 minutes, the train departed Maastricht on time. On the way to Heerlen, the train started to skip some stops and run more like a regional express, as the service's name would suggest. At this point, I went for a walk down the train. There were no interior doors, so it definitely felt more like a local train than an intercity, although each car only had 1 exterior door per side. There were luggage racks above the seats, and I also saw this unique couch-style seating area in the middle of the train. At one end of the train is the quiet section, and at the other is the first class section. I then checked out the bathroom. Sliding door, manual lock, wet floor, decent size, broken hand dryer, 3.5 out of 10. Back in my seat, I saw some massive Dutch mountains. We passed through Schiphol station, where you can occasionally catch an international steam train, and eventually arrived in Heerlen. One stop after Heerlen was Landgraaf, where the train split off onto a single-track line towards Germany. But before crossing the border, we made one final stop in the Netherlands at the single-platformed Aachen Markt, which is strangely closer to the town center than the station simply called Aachen. The power system changed again, this time from 1.5 kV DC to the Germanosphere's 15 kV 16 2/3 Hz AC. That's a mouthful. The official border is marked by this stream, called the Worm, and right after we crossed it, the train came to a complete stop. This was my first ever time in Germany, so it wasn't a great first impression. Fortunately, after less than 5 minutes, we were back on our way. The first stop in Germany was Herzogenrath, and of course the announcement order changed again, this time German came first. At the station, I saw this awesome orange and black double-decker Rhine-Ruhr express train. I love this color scheme. On the straightaway to Aachen, we picked up speed, and I finally decided to sit facing forward, but we slowed down shortly after, and stopped, and started, and stopped, and started, and finally arrived at Aachen West. The train then swung counterclockwise around the city, and pulled into Aachen Hauptbahnhof 10 minutes late.
Prochaine gare, Gare Centrale Aix-la-Chapelle.
If you, the viewer, plan to ride this train and also wish to explore the area for the day, I highly recommend purchasing the Euroregio Day Pass that is valid on all public transportation in the entire international Maas-Rhine region. Welcome to Aachen Hauptbahnhof. My train pretty much just pulled in here on platform 8 and then immediately turned back around to head to Maastricht, not Liège, interestingly enough. Also, this is my first ever time in Germany, which is pretty cool. I was just walking towards the main part of the station. I stumbled across this map. This is wild. There are so many different train services. We are here, and I took the train from here. That's the scale that we're dealing with here. I mean, it's not to scale, but it's massive. Mystery liquid on ground. Hopefully it's water. Although the platform area is a bit run down, the main station building where I am now is pretty nice. Although for some reason there's like a net covering the whole roof, sort of pretty low down. I'm not sure why that is exactly. So what did I actually think about the train service that this video is about? Well, the whole three-country thing is really cool, but if I were to just evaluate the train service, I'd say it was fine, I guess. The price is quite reasonable, and the trains are pretty nice too, but the bathroom was pretty disgusting. There's not enough capacity between Liège and Maastricht. They really need to add an additional train per hour. There were a lot of standing passengers near the end of that bit, and the train was 10 minutes late arriving here into Aachen. Although, to be fair, it was only on the German portion, so can't really blame the other countries for that. But with that, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!